Another 730,000 American workers filing for first-time unemployment benefits. And that's according to the Labor Department. Latest numbers just out this morning. Chris Burkhardt, Placer Staffing, joins us, as he does frequently, to talk about the jobs market and kind of where we are within it. Chris, hi. What are your thoughts on this week's jobs report, first of all?
Well, good morning, Peter. And you're right. Thank goodness the sun is out. So there's a really interesting big picture look. Jobless claims fell sharply, 100,000 or so. And that's a little better than experts thought that would happen. It was supposedly going to hold steady, in the 800,000 range. But if I look at the last 4 months, we're basically flat. So 1 week is slightly up, then there's an adjustment made to the formula, a state recalculates, and then it goes down a little bit. So this is the winter doldrums. Winter weather causes some unemployment short term. If you're in Texas, I imagine that hits home. Construction, for example, with winter weather might be a short-term thing.
Yeah.
But what I think is, I think we should be really curious about the next few weeks. Is this a sustainable pattern? Optimism is certainly building. But one of the things that folks need to think about is there's a lot of folks on the sidelines. And the sidelines is that they're not actively looking for work. They can't, or they're frustrated. But as they re-enter the market, they'll be eligible for unemployment. And I bet this thing goes up a little bit again before it improves.
Chris, got a multi-part question for you, but I think it's an important time to kind of delve into this. What types of jobs have been going strong? Where have we seen shifts in industries, for example? And which jobs are we kind of still waiting on that recovery to be seen in?
Well, the strong part's easy, and that's just follow consumer clicks. Because everything around the home construction, renovation, big box items like sofas or power tools, this is reflected in the jobs that have just, I would say, roared to life. Nationally, construction, all things delivery, warehousing, they all exceed pre-pandemic levels. I mean, manufacturing has been steadily adding back jobs. And frankly, jobs in many blue-collar occupations are well above pre-virus levels.
Yeah.
And they continue to remain elevated. In fact, there's 4 million jobs posted in these roles. And the questions I'm thinking about, why are they open? Do the unemployed not feel safe? Do they not want these jobs? Or can they not go back to them yet? So that's an interesting thing as folks think about, where do they re-enter the marketplace? Do they try these new jobs or not?
What about the industries that have shifted? Did they fall within some of the parameters you were just talking to?
No, I think the other side is also very interesting. We are hearing and seeing organizations begin to add sales talent. And over again, it's anticipation of a growing economy. So this was very quiet last year. If there's a steady eddy, it's all things information technology. But there is a shift. Most of the work last year was contract or freelance. Now, information technology is a very high concentration of that kind of work, but we're now seeing organizations start to ramp up their own core teams with information technology. I would still say that this is not a great time to find an abundance of opportunities in restaurant or travel. It is coming, and we are seeing some rebound, but the floodgates certainly are not wide open yet in that field.
Interesting to see across the bridge in New Jersey this week, for instance, Chris, the governor lifting some restrictions on like arenas, stadiums, and bringing that back into the mix at very small levels, 10% of capacity and lower. But again, there's an industry that's just been shut down by this, and these little glimmers of hope. They at least offer something to look forward to, perhaps.
Well, Pete, here's how I've been thinking about it. There's just over 17,000 businesses in the state of Delaware, small, medium, and big. Imagine if all of them are thinking about adding one person, which is what I see happening.
Yeah.
You put 17,000 people to work, you pretty much fix the unemployment situation in Delaware or make a very big dent. So that optimism, we see many organizations planning for growth, planning to hire, saying things like we're going to start with this department or this role or these functions So I do have a lot of optimism for what's coming this year.
Yeah, so the advice then to these companies that have been struggling, they really weren't able to pivot. They find themselves now seeing glimpses of hope. Do they look at the metrics or if they're confused about whether or not they should be adding, what do you think they should at least consider within that equation?
Well, I feel like I'm on the front lines of the war for talent as a staffing company guy, definitely. So there's some trends that we're seeing. Well, first off, there's lots of studies that we see supported with day-to-day interactions. About 65% of folks are looking for another job. What's interesting is the same amount of folks are looking to find work where they feel comfortable and want to put down roots and are stable and secure. So I think there's been a lot of, and it just sort of makes sense, months upon months of people just happy to have a job if you had one, or trying to secure one. What's interesting as folks kind of climb that hierarchy with what's good for them, now folks are really starting to consider movement, and they're pent up to do so.
Yeah.
The second thing is I've never seen such a shortage of entry-level labor. I almost wish I were entry-level in that respect, because if I were a company, you have to be prepared to train. You have to be provide learning opportunities. And quite frankly, you need to be a good employer that offers somebody a safe place to work, a culture they identify, and a why that they identify. This is not a time just to say, there's lots of unemployed, I can hire anybody. That's not true.
Interesting. Chris Burkhart joining us, Placer Staffing in Newark. It's consequential that you're on this morning. I've been sharing some stories about people that have been going above and beyond in light of what's happened, for instance, in Texas with all the devastation they had there. That said, you all along here have been doing a lot to kind of help people guide themselves through this pandemic for the last several months. So for people that are listening that you are new to this morning, Chris, where can they turn to find out more about what it is you do?
Thank you, Peter, for that opportunity. What we've found is folks just need a coach, an agent. If you're a sports star or an actor, somebody can help you get better. So we're just offering to help those that are thinking about their careers, someone to talk to. Maybe you need your resume looked at or some coaching for an upcoming interview or a lead. Maybe we can't put you to work as a company, but we can help you get your foot in the door. So it's Placers. You can search us on any website, but myplacers.com, and it's Placers Act of Kindness if you want to fill out a form or call the number.
Awesome. Chris Burkhart, Placer Staffing. Chris, we will speak again soon, sir, and have a good rest of the day and the weekend.
Thank you.